So I just took this vehicle for a 2-hour round trip to the DMV to register the FJ Cruiser that we just wrapped up. And it occurred to me, this vehicle provides just staggering value. It's just the amount of car you get for the money. Now, let me just go over what's still original. 2010 Impreza, non-turbo, 180, almost 180,000 miles. Owned it for now 10 years. Placed well over 100, about 110,000 miles. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm going through the list, what's still original? The AC compressor is original. They are very expensive compressors. Power steering pump is original. This has a hydraulic unit, not electric. The alternator is still original. The starter is still original. In fact, the Subaru battery lasted for 8 years, and it still was cranking. It was just losing some of that cranking ability, and I replaced it out of due diligence. But 8 years out of a battery. The rear shocks are still original. The rear shocks, they don't leak. The car isn't bouncy. They're perfectly fine. Why replace them? And now this is really the most, I think, staggering stat. All of the sensors are original. Think about that. Now, this car is not garaged. It's been driven into New York City for the last 10 years, 5 days a week, into New York City, which has the worst roads. And this car gets hit because it's parked on the street, so the bumpers are pretty beat up. And nasty weather, snow, salt, just disgusting weather. And all of the sensors are original. Crank, cam sensors, variable valve timing, coolant temperature sensors, oxygen sensors. This has 3, or air fuel sensors. It's just, wow. It's on map sensors. I mean, everything's still original. Only once did the check engine light come on. One time. And that was for the catalytic converter. That's trouble code 420, well known on Subarus. And that's because these cars do burn a little bit of oil. A little bit meaning I change the oil every 5,000 to 7,000 miles. With the mileage now, I tend to go to 5,000 miles. And within 5,000 miles, maybe half a quart of oil. So they do burn oil. They're well known. The Boxer design burns oil. And I think burning that oil does, it absolutely, it hurts the catalytic converter. So I replaced that. I shot a video on how to do it. You can easily do it at home in your garage. It's not hard. But that's it. That's it. Now, admittedly, the Achilles heel with these older Subarus, meaning like prior to 2014, are the head gaskets. Hands down. And if you're not mechanically inclined and you want to replace the head gaskets, the Subaru dealer, you're talking like 25 to 3 grand. It's a lot of money. But if this is a second car for you, maybe, and you maybe have some decent abilities, I shot a video on how to pull the engine. Actually, you hear pull an engine, that must be impossible. You know, I have a little 1-car garage, 200 square feet. That's all it is, 20 by 10. And I was able to pull the engine. First time I ever did it on a Subaru. Took my time. It was during COVID, so there was no rush. Took my time. Did my research. The way that they engineered for the engine to be taken out, it was very enjoyable. It was very, I have to admit, it was very relaxing, just pulling the engine, learning all these different things. That's the only Achilles heel. So if you look at one of these older Subarus, chances are they probably had it replaced anyway at this point. The build quality, I would say, for the engine, the transmission, the 4-wheel drive system is excellent. The body and the fit and finish, I should say, for like interior panels, not the best, but it almost reminds me of the older Corvettes, like the C5, even like the C6 Corvette, where GM put all of the money into the drivetrain. You know, the small block Chevy on those Corvettes can outlast, once Top Gear wrote in their magazine, it will outlast the solar system. And that's how robust, I should say, how robust those Chevy engines are. But the fit and finish on the body isn't the best. And that reminds me, on this vehicle, the fit and finish isn't that good. It's kind of cheap in certain places, but it's a great option, guys. It really, really is a great great option. And just wrapping it up, again, this car not being garaged, nasty weather, since this car was in Connecticut before we purchased it, so always nasty weather. Has no rust anywhere in the chassis, 0 rust. They must dip this thing like 5 times in Japan. I mean, it's absolutely, it's amazing. And the reason why I thought of just providing a video is because inflation is through the roof. If you want to get a used car loan, it's like 7.5%. So why spend $500, $600, $700 a month? Especially if you're just looking to get from point A to point B. You don't care what the Joneses thinks, which I think is a big hurdle for a lot of people. You know, they care too much what other people think. Who cares? Who cares? It's your pocketbook, right? It's your money. Who cares what other people think? All-wheel drive. It's cheap to run, 87 octane. It's cheap to insure. It's a great option, guys. You know, so I just wanted to do a quick video, give you guys maybe something to think about. If you're maybe a little tight in cash, you can't afford $500, $600, $700, $800 a month on a car, this is great. It does everything that it needs to do. So I hope you continue to tune in. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.